Hello and welcome to another NihongoGamer video. This is Water Break or Hydration Station. I haven't really decided on the name and I probably never will. But this is the mini-series where we talk about all sorts of things, but this particular episode is about getting into making YouTube videos. And I don't have a particular order for it, so I don't know exactly what order I'm going to talk about all the things that I've maybe learned over the past few years. But this particular episode is about how to decide on what to make your channel about. And although we've talked to stuff related to it, one particular point stands out in my mind that really helped when making a channel. And while seeing new channels popping up recently, I've been thinking about the exact same thing over and over again. And the point that I'd love to hammer home, and have tweeted about it before recently, is early adopt something. Now, the thing for me that I early adopted is the PS Vita TV. Now, if I can actually find it, it's here somewhere, hold on. I'm actually quite proud that I still have mine. It's the PS Vita TV. This is a little box which has the same hardware on the inside as a PS Vita. Hold on a second, am I even in focus? The insides of this are a PS Vita, but there's no screen, so you can't play it, obviously, like a PS Vita, but you can plug it into your computer. Sorry, you can plug it into a monitor or a TV and play a lot of PS Vita games, but not all of them. Anyway, it had plenty of issues, but the idea was kind of novel. And more importantly, the PS Vita TV was only out in Japan and would stay only in Japan for like, I don't know, 6 months or a year? It took like a year before it actually came out in the West. And so I didn't actually know that Sony wasn't going to release it for such a long time. I just bought it because it looked really interesting and I wanted to be able to plug it into my TV and play all these PS Vita games that I already owned. I already had like, I don't know, 10 or 15, maybe 20 PS Vita games I'd been collecting already. And it just looked like an exciting thing. And you know what? I don't even know if I was planning on making a video about it, but I knew that I wanted to buy one anyway. And so for me, it was like, well, I may as well just make a video about it anyway. It just so happens that by early adopting this thing that was unproven, it ended up being the perfect content for a channel, because on YouTube, you'll find that a lot of people are searching for products that they don't own yet, but would like to buy. Now, the thing about buying these things is this cost, I can't remember exactly how much it was like $200 or maybe $150, whatever it was. That's $150 that a lot of people don't have, especially kids who don't have a job yet. And they need to know whether it's worth investing all this money in this thing if they can't actually afford to buy more than one expensive thing per year or per month or however often they're allowed to buy these things. And so that is why, I mean, often YouTube is thought of as like the new age home shopping network, which I like to think my channel isn't, but at the same time, a lot of the content on this channel does come from unboxing things and showing people stuff that maybe they just don't have the money to buy yet, or before they invest all that money, they want to make sure that it's exactly the right thing for them. And especially being in Japan, it's been quite easy to find content like that, because there's a lot of stuff that people want to see in Japan, but they don't live in Japan, and so I'm able to make these videos about stuff that I have access to just because I happen to live here. So as luck would have it, the PS Vita TV was an early adopter product, because I bought it like day one, and not only that, I had it a year before most of the world who was interested in it could have access to buying one of these. And even before it came out, a lot of people who wanted to import it, it meant that they would have to spend more than I paid because they had to pay the importing cost. I was able to make content that could confirm what was compatible with it, all the things that it could do, all the things that it couldn't do. And the same thing happened recently with VR. So I started to see a large number of really cool channels completely out of nowhere with like 0 subscribers, and then within a few weeks they had maybe a couple thousand, and then after a couple months they had like 10,000, and then a few months later they had like 100,000, and some of those channels got really, really big really, really quickly. And I just kept thinking to myself, this is one of the most important things about growing as a channel. You don't have to grow alone, and in fact, growing on your own is one of the hardest things that you can do on YouTube. But if you're growing in a category, which is also growing on YouTube anyway, that category on YouTube will have this momentum like a wave, and you can kind of ride that wave with it. Now, of course, a lot of people will also be trying to get into that same category, and so you'll be competing with them, but at least there's movement in that category. if you try to start, for example, a Minecraft channel today, it's not that there's nothing interesting about Minecraft or that Minecraft is dead or anything. There's plenty of exciting stuff happening in Minecraft, but it doesn't have the same wave and momentum that it had when it was growing maybe 3 or 4, 5 years ago on YouTube. But it was so clear to me, like when VR was getting big on YouTube again recently this year, and I think it's going to continue to get bigger this year and next year and the year after, because we finally got VR headsets that don't need to plug into a computer. They're wireless. They're completely free of needing to be connected to a computer at all times. Of course, there are still VR headsets that do connect to the computer, but with all this growth in the cordless wireless headset market for VR, there's going to be a ton of consumers who think, okay, now I can finally get into this. Whereas before, the idea of having to connect it to a computer that was powerful enough meant like an extra $600 to $800 to sometimes, you know, over $1,000 for a new computer that could handle those graphics required for a VR headset. Now, another thing that goes with that is that there was a PDF document that I read when I first got into YouTube, and it was called like the YouTube Playbook, or the YouTube Bible. I can't remember what it was called. And I just read it cover to cover, start to finish. What should I do? And it wasn't that, basically when I started the channel, I wasn't actually planning on making it a big channel. It was just a place to upload these random videos and stuff. But after I realized, okay, I could actually take this momentum and do something with it, I read that playbook cover to cover. And one of the most important things that I came away with after reading it was that there are these things called tentpole events. You know, something will happen, and the easiest, most obvious one is the release of a new iPhone. So when a new iPhone comes out, that's what you call a tentpole release. And there's going to be massive content popular about the iPhone when it releases. But it also means that content about that new iPhone will be really popular on the run up to the iPhone. And then there will also be popular content regarding the iPhone right after the release. And so it's called a tent pole because it's not just a pole, it holds up the tent, and the tent kind of sags away like this from the main event. So the most popular day, of course, will be the day that the iPhone comes out. But you can ride that momentum that's going from absolutely no buzz at all to all the buzz regarding the iPhone release. And then after that, you can do all your reviews on that. So the easiest example is there's a rumor 1 year, it's usually 1 year before the new iPhone comes out, and you can talk about all the rumors. You don't have to say whether they're true or not, but people just like to know about the rumors, and more importantly, they don't want to read about it themselves. Some people are driving, some people are commuting. It's just not everyone has the time to read articles on all the stuff that they're interested in now. That's why video content is really important, and that's why the audio in your video is so important, because a lot of people are not watching your video, they're just listening for information, and the voice and spoken word is still one of the most primary ways that it's done on YouTube. Talk about the rumors and state what's out there, and then after that you could also do like an opinion video where you talk about your opinion on whether this rumor is true or false and all that. But then you can also talk about new rumors. New rumors will just keep coming out on the run up to the iPhone, including accessories that are related to the iPhone, new official information coming out from Apple. Sometimes those rumors that came out before will be proven false, so you can make a video about that. Basically, there's a ton of content regarding the iPhone, the rumors, the accessories, the state of technology surrounding the iPhone, how it's going to affect other phone manufacturers, whether they're also listening to these rumors and making phones that they think are also going to have a notch like the iPhone 10 had a notch, and then suddenly all these other phones had notches as well. Then you finally get to the tent pole. The pole is the day where it's the most popular and everyone is searching iPhone 10 or iPhone 11 or iPhone 12 or whatever the name of the new iPhone is. That's the day that you don't just release a video and get tons of views, but that's the day that all the videos that you released on the year running up to that release, they also get a bump in views. And then of course after the release you can do your review of the product, you can do your 1 month later review of the product, you can do your 3 months later review of the product, you can talk about whether it lived up to the expectations, what was true regarding the rumors before all of that. Honestly, iPhone is just one example, but you could do the same thing with your PS Vita TV, you could do it about gaming peripherals, whether you've got a mouse, you could do it about, you know, stuff for coffee, stuff like that. I don't know, you could get PlayStation pads, game controllers, things like this, anything. What I was really able to confirm over the past years of doing YouTube is that early adopting was where most of the views came from. And it's not because you're just early and you've got this thing that everybody wants. It's because there's momentum in that category. So if you can find something that's going to have momentum, and the easiest one is products that are coming out or movies that are about to come out. And if you talk about that stuff using the tentpole method, talk about it before it comes out, increase the frequency with which you release videos about it running up to the poll, and then on the poll, of course, release a video, but that is not the most important video. All of your videos running up to it will also get a boost. This one will obviously get a boost, and it will ride out as you continue to make reviews. Every time you make a review, like a 1 month later or 3 months later, or all sorts of tests like can it actually be waterproof, or does it play games as fast as we thought it was going to do, that original video from the tentpole day, that will also get a boost. It's all about putting out these videos and then making more videos, which are not, you're not just waiting for the views on those new videos. You're releasing content which is giving a boost, and it's signal boosting all the content that you made up until that point, and will continue to help signal boost videos that you make in the future. So definitely find a category that has momentum. Now that doesn't mean you have to give up on your dreams of making the content that you wanted to just because you're interested in, I don't know, drawing stick figures. And it turns out that drawing stick figures doesn't have a lot of momentum in that category. What you can do is you can start your channel talking about stuff that is exciting. So instead of making a channel called Stick Figures, because I love stick figures, you can make a channel called Digital Drawing, and you could talk about the iPad tablets, you could talk about the Samsung graphics tablets, you could talk about all the Chinese companies that make cheap graphics tablets, you could compare them all together, and every time you make a graphics video, you could draw a stick figure, and people would know you as that person who reviews graphics tablets, but for some reason they always draw stick figures, and then it will turn out after you've got 50,000 subs that your real passion isn't the technology, it's about drawing funny comics, and that it doesn't have to be about great, cool, amazing art. It could be just a stick figure, and it could still be absolutely hilarious. You're not so much hiding your true passion, you're just dressing it up and providing it in a more delicable, is that a word? Just making it look more attractive, because a lot of people want stuff, they just don't know that they want it yet. And when it's provided to them in a sort of easy to consume manner, then later on they'll be like showing it to other people. They'll be like, I'm really into this channel. I had no idea that I was so into cooking, but oh my goodness, check out this person who draws all these cool graphics on coffee, and now I'm really into coffee art, or I'm really into cooking, or I'm really into healthy living, and all this stuff that I didn't think that I was excited about, and now I'm telling you about it. So that's essentially it. You want to early adopt something, but not because you need to be the first one there, because you won't probably be the first one there. One person will be the first one there, but most people won't be the first one there. You want to be an early adopter because you want to join a product category that has momentum. It doesn't have to be stuff. You don't have to have a channel about buying stuff, but certainly buying stuff and talking about new stuff that's coming out will be the things that people tend to be searching for, and then you can slowly feed them the content that you're truly passionate about. Like these water break videos, like this started as a video gaming channel, but it's turned out to be a really great way to connect with people who have very similar opinions and like to talk about and debate these things. Topics like what we're talking about right now. Like, what is the best way to start a YouTube channel? And a lot of people will be in the comments talking about how they completely disagree and say that's absolutely not what you should do. And that's where the joy comes from with this channel, is reading the comments, seeing what other people think, and then that feeds back into the way I feel about these things, and then I change my mind, and then I make new videos in the future talking about, you know, that video that I posted 3 months ago when I said you should all be early adopters. I've completely changed my mind, and then that video will get a boost, and the new video also gets a boost, and then basically all the videos are all signal boosting each other. You don't have to give up on the content that you really want to make. Often you just need to present it in a tasty fashion until people realize that this is absolutely the content that they were looking for. They just had no idea it existed. You did a great job of dressing it up. Or not. Who knows? Maybe this video will be terrible. Anyway, just a short episode of Water Break, or Hydration Station, talking about how to make YouTube videos. This is not how you must do it. just something that I found to be true for my own channel, and then I saw it to be true while watching all of these other channels that have been growing in categories like video gaming or VR or music or drawing. I'll see you in the next NihongoGamer video and or stream, or if you'd love to chat about more stuff like this, come and join us in the Discord group. See you next time.